First of all, let's go to the walkthrough of this homemade CNC. The size of the working area is 270 millimeter by 205 millimeter. 270 on this side, 205 on this side. So you see, as you can see, I have this flatbed. It was made from extruded acrylic. Do you know where I get this one? If you have a defective LCD monitor or your computer, at the back, when you remove the LCD, you will get this. You can get this. I have so many of this because I'm a technician and I have all defective LCD panel removed and taken all of this from that part. So this is a home build. I don't have any blueprint of this machine, but this is composed only of wood, a drawer fixture, corner fixture of a drawer, and an aluminum L-bar, angular bar that support my X-axis for better stability of the Z-axis. So my spindle motor is an RC brushless motor, bought from our online selling site, Lazada. Shout out to Lazada, thank you. So my RC motor is 4074, which is 40 millimeter in diameter and 74 height, with 5 mm motor shaft. This is a brushless and it can run 50,000 RPM. And I'm just controlling this with my RC controller. This is the DSC, brushless DSC that controls the motor. This is the receiver that will receive signal from my transmitter so that I can control the speed of the brushless motor. So my holder is just an acrylic. I don't intend to use aluminum because it is much heavier than acrylic. So the heavier you have onto your Z-axis, the more power needed by the stepper to move it up and down. So my motor are all unipolar, means 5 wires or 6 wires, and all of the 3 axis stepper motor are different. This one only needs 3.5 volts and 1.6 ampere, while this one is a 5 volts 2 ampere. So this is for the Z axis, while as my Y axis stepper motor is 4.5 volts DC, rated 1.1 ampere. Okay. So with the different voltage rating of my stepper, I needed to use a DC to DC converter. My overall supply for my homemade CNC is 24 volts. So my my hardware or my CNC controller is based on a Tacos 42. Tacos 42 was made by Piminmo, to which that site was no longer active. But I have all the documentation of this CNC controller and made some adjustment and modification, because the original Tacos 42 uses chopper board. I don't know the use of the chopper board, but plain and simple, to run all the unipolar motors with different specs, just control the voltage, not the current. So if the motor is 3 volts, you only need to down the voltage or the supply voltage to 3 volts, and the controller must not exceed the working current of the stepper. So for example, I have this 4.5 volts 1.1 ampere, so I'm needing DC-DC controller down converter 24 volts to 4.5 volts. Do not use 5 volts in this one. If the rating is 4.5, it will hit. When it is in idle, it will heat up. You won't touch it. You can't touch it. So my simple modification to run the 3 motors of different specs, I just use the LM2976 or whatever. Just the DC-DC down converter is enough to control those 3 steppers. So I have this upon towards those DC-DC converter to pull it down. So there is my T8 8mm. I only use 8mm because these are all scrap materials from my old printers, fax machine, Xerox or copying machine, photocopying machine that I dismantled and get all the parts that I need to build this not so-called substandard CNC. The substandard homemade CNC. It performs like the CNC 3018, but okay, the word but, this is not an expensive type. If you can build your own, try to build it with cheaper parts, because if you are starting to learn CNC, you need to just build your own and do not buy a kit. Buying a kit will not help you to learn if there will be problem in later days, and you will have some time configuring it and make it work again. Since I built this one, I haven't had any problem. The only problem I had is the y-axis tends to wiggle like this during cutting. So the edge of this cut is not practically perfect. But this one, the cut of the x-axis, which is this movement towards this, with the help of my angular bar, it stabilizes the movement of the x-axis. So I have cut many items on this substandard CNC. I will call this the dumbest CNC ever. My dumbest CNC.